everybody. Welcome to tonight's episode of Tickfaw Files. We're going to have a lot of fun. We've already been laughing our butts off in the pregame call, so it's going to be great. Before we jump into the game and what happened last week and all that good stuff, I'm going to give everybody a chance to introduce themselves. I'll talk a little bit about announcements and how viewer actions work and things like that. And then we'll pass everything off to Rowan for the game. So let's start with Rowan. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Rowan North. I'm a freelance illustrator and art educator, and happy to be back this week. Last week I took a break with Tickfaw Files. Yeah, I think that's all. I will put my link to my art site in the chat, and you can find all my social media there. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
Next, we have the fantastic Vanessa. Tell us a little bit about Mira and yourself.
Hi, I'm Vanessa. I'm the resident Canadian of the party. I'm primarily a watercolor artist, but right now I'm focusing on some Tickfaw doodles that I've been posting over at my art Twitter. So you can check those out there. That's at PepRoDraws. And yeah, I play Mira, who is a fairy equivalent of a vampire. She drinks blood to survive. And she is the grumpy girl of the group, and she's currently still mad at everybody, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's Mira.
Fantastic. Next, we've got Yasmin playing Savoy and Zahil. Tell us a little bit about your characters and yourself.
I am playing Savoy and Zahil, who is the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of character. Well, a moody Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And I mean, that's really it. That's all that's going for them. I am a graphic illustrator and artist, and I finally have a website that I can share with you that I will post in the comments down below. Right now, it is just my apparel store, but there will be more to come soon, eventually. That's it.
Fantastic. Next, we've got Riley playing Jonas. Tell us a little bit about your character and yourself.
Hi. So I'm playing Jonas. Jonas is just a sweet boy. He just wants everybody to be happy and feel included, as well as everybody to be safe. I'm Riley. I am a knit and crochet designer. I will put my website out there. On my website, I do have it set up so you can access some of my patterns for free if you would like to do that with your time in quarantine. And yeah.
Fantastic. I, of course, am Raven. I'm a tabletop streamer, game designer, professional GM. I also do a bunch of other stuff, including voice acting, writing, editing, and graphic and composite art. You can find out all about what I do when I'm not on the stream on my Twitter, which is right below my face. And then I mentioned viewer actions. So the way we do our shows here, that's actually designed to let you as an audience member actively participate in the game. It's pretty cool. There's a number of different ways that you can do that. One of the easiest ones is through the game tweet, which is right there in chat. For every 5 interactions on that, we give a D4 to the cast and to the DM. With this particular game being Monster of the Week, D4s are especially powerful in this particular setting. So, great way to give boosts to everyone, including the Game Master. Some other ways that you can interact are through guild coins, which you can find. It's a little rainbow-colored icon right below your Twitch chat box. There's a few different things that you can do with that, but the biggest one is plot points. If you look at one of the panels right below, if you're watching on the main Twitch page, there's a whole explanation of all the different ones that you can get. You can also find that by clicking on the little icon. It'll show you the different ones. But basically, it goes from inconsequential effect to a major effect. Anything from renaming a business that the characters might happen to go by to creating your own NPC and interjecting it into the story. A lot of pretty cool stuff that you can do with that. And you get those guild coins just by watching the show. interacting with the stream, going on raids with us, that sort of thing. So pretty cool stuff. And then finally, if you do want to contribute monetarily, help support the channel that way, there's a number of options there. You can do that through coffee.com/Raven or Raven.rocks, through subscriptions, or bits, and then finally through Patreon. So if you are a Bard tier patron or higher, every month you get credits towards those viewer actions. And if you're not currently a patron, for the moment, at least till the end of the month, I have February's content and March's content unlocked for everyone on my Patreon. So it's mostly composite art on there right now for those 2 months. But hopefully it gives you something fun to look at while we're all sort of stuck at home for the most part. So yeah, and then as far as what you get for those contributions, they're on this little chart over here in the corner. And most of those are pretty self-explanatory, but some of them that might not be. The switch allows a character, not a character, but a player to tell another player, including the DM, to switch the action word on what they were just about to do. So for example, if Mira were going to try and claw somebody because they made her mad, somebody could throw out a switch and say you do something else to them. So it can't be a direct synonym of claw, so it could end up being like pat, hug, whatever Vanessa decides to do that's not clawing them. So it can be pretty fun. The borrowed success allows for an automatic success on whatever it is you're trying to do. However, for every roll thereafter, a d20 is also rolled, and if it comes up with 15, then you would lose that success. So it allows you to complete something that you really need to succeed at in the moment, but you may lose an important success later. It's a little bit of a gamble. Complication allows you to throw in anything into the scene that you would like, which is pretty cool. You kind of get to be the DM for a couple of seconds. And then the swap 2 players for 5 minutes is just that. We swap characters or roles for 5 minutes. And that can be 2 character players, or it could be a character player and the DM. So you could put somebody else in the hot seat if you wanted to for 5 minutes. It's really funny, and it's a lot of fun. And I think that's about it. So real quick, just as a reminder for the cast, we have 1d4 and 2d6 currently available to us. And GM, you have 2d4, 5d6, and a switch available to you.
The problem is that I don't know where I'd use a 2d4 and 5d6 again, unless I ask you to reroll or take that number away.
With Monster of the Week, what we've been doing over on Hunters of Calamity for this is you can roll against us, essentially. So you roll a d6, and then that's subtracted from our roll. If you're feeling particularly ruthless.
We'll see. All right.
So that's everything. Rowan, take it away.
Fabulous. All right, let's talk about what happened last time. Last time, Savoy and Tilda got uproariously drunk. Savoy had returned from her trip, not in a great state, and immediately got work calls, specifically from the Moonstone family, where Selena Moonstone was in the hospital with her son, who had just gotten his ear bitten by something. And not in a good way, earlobe right off. So, Savoy, you asked them to come to breakfast to discuss it then, and then proceeded to drink your weight in alcohol. Having a chance encounter with a prince that has been saving his energy for the chance to introduce Raven. You just disappeared.
Yeah, I'm still here. I needed to take care of something, so I turned my camera off for a second.
Okay, because all of a sudden it was like, boop. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm
still here.
Oh, goodness. Anyways, boop, and you're back. Okay. So the prince has been saving energy to introduce himself formally to you, and you didn't give him the time of day. So he was having a
in our defense, we were at least bare minimum half drunk, and he was trespassing.
You were 15 sheets to the wind. At least.
And also,
Anyway,
you
so
guys were really infuriating and unnecessary towards him. So, you know.
either way, he's having an existential crisis because of you. Way to go. Way the fuck to go. You're giving my villain existential crises.
I was gonna bow, but it's kind of hard to tell I'm doing that on the camera, so I'm just dab.
No, it just looks like you're spit taking. So from there, Jonas has been spending time with Mira, donated his blood to Mira to drink, which that's weird. Even brought his dinner over to have with Mira. That was interesting. And then Tilda and Savoy came over drunk to help apologize and discovered a mimic hiding in the house, doing whatever. Who knows? So we're going to start in the next morning where Savoy and Tilda, Savoy is meeting with Selena and Faith.
So,
Sorry to interrupt, but a quick note, Rowan. Roll20 is not currently playing the music.
Oh,
I had some issues with that the other day. You may have to choose a different track or try stopping it and restarting the track.
I didn't even think about turning on the music. Thank you for reminding me. So that was
No
actually
problem.
my bad. That one was my bad.
Yes. Yeah, as I mentioned it in our cast chat, and I figured you probably just didn't see it, so I wanted to let you know.
I've been busy. All right. So, as you were saying, Savoy.
Savoy would have everything prepared an hour in advance to anybody's arrival. And even like everything would be insured and prepared and ready to go before they started their morning workout.
Okay. So how hungover are you is the other question.
You want to know the beautiful thing about being Fae? Or even half Fae?
You don't get hungover?
Not the same way that a human does. Savoy woke up sick and expelled the amount of sick that they were, wiped their face off, and got to work immediately.
Oh my goodness. There you go.
Because Savoy is kind of a hard ass. And a masochist.
Wow. Of course. We knew this already.
And what better way to cure the last remnants of a hangover but like pounding a boxing bag?
There's other things you could pound.
Yeah.
Rowan, I can't
Other
breathe
things.
today. Don't make me so hard.
I promise nothing.
I mean, unrelated, Tilda's also in the house.
Yes.
Completely unrelated to what you were just talking about.
Tilda is also in the house. And Savoy
I didn't come here to play this.
and has chosen to work out.
What were you saying, Vanessa?
I said I didn't come here to play this kind of game, you guys.
I'm trying so hard.
Okay, who was it who spent all the past 2 weeks in chat talking about their favorite ships? All right, that's all of you. Those schools, you have no room to talk.
There was nothing explicit.
Just like these sexually promiscuous poses of people macking.
There are none to be had.
Oh my god.
They're
You know
wearing
exactly.
clothes.
You can be promiscuous and wear clothes.
What did you say?
Sneezing over here.
You can
I
you can
need
be
an
promiscuous and still wear
inhaler.
clothes. Hang in there.
That's true. That is true. There's nothing funky going on. You are misleading the audience. Continue.
I am doing no such thing. Uh, anyways. Anyways, so you work out. I think um it's about 45 minutes later that let's do our friend Barney comes in and says, uh Miss Savoy, your guests are here.
Savoy doesn't really answer, but stops punching the punching bag, unwraps their knuckles, and picks their shirt up off the side of the workout room, pulls it back over their shoulders, and walks in buttoning their shirt up.
So no shower or anything, huh?
Nothing.
Barney like looks at you, walk past, and he's like, I was going to offer to get you a clean change of clothes, but I see that's unnecessary. I see what kind of day it is. That's fine.
Savoy says nothing and just keeps going.
There's a reason why he's worked here so long.
Yes.
He can
Also,
read the room like a boss.
Just so you know, Barney's the only person that gets away with saying stuff like that to Savoy.
Tilda might.
Maybe Tilda. Maybe Tilda.
Anyways, so you walk in, you're still like sweaty and glistening rather.
I'm dewy.
And there is Selena and Faith. Faith has a bandage over his ear. And he's looking kind of restless and grouchy, but when does he not? And Selena, she's dressed nicely. She's wearing a black flowy kind of peasant style shirt, black pants, and like a white flower crown. And it looks really cute with her like silver hair. So
Savoy comes over, bends to give Selena a kiss on her cheek, ruffles Faith's hair, and then sits down in a very casual placement on the table.
Faith is like, Jesus, I'm like 21. What is your problem?
You are still 20. No, you are still a decade younger than I am, for the most part.
And that makes it right.
Always makes it right. You'll know it when you get to be my age.
Oh my God. Sure, whatever. Selena's like, good morning.
Good morning, Selena. I'm glad that you guys were able to make it. Faith, how are you feeling today?
Like I had a piece of my ear bitten off. Thank you very much.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. What else
Did
am I
the
supposed to
doctors
feel?
give you enough medication?
Yeah. Yeah, they did. I haven't been taking the full dosage because I don't want myself woozy. I've been working.
Understandable. Understandable. You're a tough kid. You probably don't even need it.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but I ain't no druggie.
So Savoy crosses
Weed
their
doesn't
arms
count.
and leans back, and like I didn't really understand the extent of what you were experiencing when you first called. But an experience that I had last night kind of sheds a little bit more light on the situation. Now, Selena, Faith, you understand my personal predicament, correct? Unrelated to this.
So it's like, yes, of course. I mean, you've been fairly honest with us about that, and that's why we give you the potion and everything, and hopefully that helps. And yeah, I mean, yes.
On a side note, I'd like to mention that our morning breakfast isn't too early, and that Tilda has been given the run of the house, so if she finds herself in the area, she's more than welcome to join. But she's not really told about it.
Okay.
Savoy continues as like, then you understand that our world has a few strange nuances of a magical or occult variety that, for the most part, are unexplainable.
Selena's like, well, yes, of course. I mean, you're talking to a bona fide witch, right? So,
Savoy just has to like make sure all the boxes are crossed.
so I mean, I was believing in this stuff way before the weird stuff started happening. We're talking about the trees being knocked down in the forest, right? I mean, I was fully aware that was something weird.
I'm sure that this can tie back to that. But as far as my evidence goes, it's not related at this time, but it is of the same vein. I came into contact at an associate's household the other night of a creature that could mimic an object. It could turn its shape and appear as a duplicate of something.
So Faith kind of gets this look and is like, great. So now we're talking about D&D being real.
D&D?
Dungeons and... Listen, you're dating that weird library chick, aren't you?
No.
Right.
You mean Tilda? No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not dating. I'm not dating anybody, Faith.
Oh, okay. I see how it is. So it was just like a one night thing. All right.
Oh my God, Faith! I'm not gonna have this conversation with you.
Listen, I just know she's living in your house, and either way, she's totally a nerd and would know what I'm talking about.
Okay, Barney, can you please have Tilda join us here in this room?
That I can do. And he just gives Faith a passing look, like, you're gonna get yourself killed, son. And
as luck would have it, I just finished typing out what Tilda was doing during this time. So yeah, Tilda, by the time Barney gets up there, is probably already awake and has freshened up a bit, still in her pajamas, but you know, like she's brushed her teeth and put water on her face or whatever. And she's a little bit hungover, but not too bad because she's smart and drank a bunch of water in between drinks last night. So she comes down, sees everybody, and goes, it's a lot of people. Hi.
Hi, Tilda. Thank you for joining us. I would like to formally introduce you to Selena and her son, Faith, who I'm sure
Hi,
you
Selena.
met.
Yes. Hi, Selena. Very nice to meet you.
oh, it's wonderful to meet you too, dear.
I'm gonna grab some coffee. I'll be right back.
All right.
And she pretty much ignores Faith, but goes to the coffee pot and grabs a mug of coffee.
The coffee pot is in the same dining hall that you are standing in, and Savoy kind of leans over. I just like yanked my computer. Leans over and is like, Tilda, Faith was educating me in the fact that you know what D&D is?
Tilda's cheeks get kind of red because it's not something that she normally talks about with anybody outside of her own little circle of friends that play it. And becomes like keenly aware all of a sudden that she's wearing her like 20th anniversary Critical Role hoodie over her pajamas at the moment. She's like, Yeah, I've played it once or twice.
Faith is here, like grabbing his drink, going, "I fucking called it."
Do you remember the strange creature that we encountered last night? Correct, the one that could duplicate itself. Faith said that.
Oh, the mimic, yeah.
What did you say?
Oh, they're called mimics.
You didn't. Why didn't you say anything last night? You knew
She
that this
did.
creature
did.
existed?
Well, I mean, I knew it existed in D&D and fantasy, but
Is D&D a real thing? Like, what does that even stand for?
I said
It's-
Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, that's right. Dungeons
It's
and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah. It's a role-playing game. You create characters and you do fantasy stuff. So there's a lot of other ones besides D&D too, but
Selena's like, "Oh, the kids loved it back in 2020. Like,
yeah.
people were making a lot of money just, selling like dice and the books and doing art for it, and it was quite the community."
It's Selena. While all of this is fascinating, while I understand the term mimic in its Latin root, I don't entirely understand how a game has information about this world that is suddenly emerging and colliding with ours.
I can answer that one for you. So D&D is based on ancient mythology stories. It's where it started. And all those ancient mythology stories, turns out, who knew, is based on actual facts. Things that actually happened. So I'm very sure that there's a lot of little details that are wrong. But because it was based on something that turns out to be true, it shares a common origin.
All right, so
basically.
with your infinite amount of knowledge, a bite from a mimic, does that create any adverse reactions?
Tilda blushes a little bit at the infinite amount of knowledge and kind of plays with her hair a little bit, which is not something you've probably ever seen Tilda do.
Savoy just looks away.
She's like, so no, as far as I know, they're not venomous or anything like that. Their whole threat is the fact that you don't know they're there until they attack you.
Okay.
And so Faith looks at the both of you and looks between you and goes, "And you sure you haven't fucked yet?"
Oh my God! You know your child is out of bounds.
Tilda literally does a spit take.
You see the prickling of feathers across their cheekbones, but it goes back down. Like Savoy is able to take a couple of deep breaths and sit back down.
So Selena's like, "Faith, be nice. We're not here to mortify, our employer. Come on."
Tilda literally does a spit take, probably in Fate's direction.
All right.
Also,
so what this mimic, Savoy completely changes the subject back to what's going on.
Yeah, mimics, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How do you find a mimic? I assume, last night we saw that there is a duplicate of something on the table that wasn't there before. Is that common? Or is there something that we can do that can disrupt it? I'm only technologically savvy. I don't know how this works.
I mean, in D&D, there's usually magic that you can detect creatures or things like that. Or, most people just sort of stab things they're unsure about with a sword, and if it doesn't move, then it's not a mimic. But
Faith's like, "Yes, I want to see you stab every garbage can in this whole damn town. That would make my time."
okay. I'll start with you, Faith. That sounds like a great idea.
You know, Selena actually throws her head back and laughs, like, got
um, damn it. Matilda turns to Savoy. Goes, but for practical purposes, obviously we don't have sword. Well, I mean, I have swords, but most people don't have swords to go stabbing things. So I may be able to work on. I mean, I'm already getting a backlog of enchantments that I need to do, but
Well,
I
actually,
could probably come up with something that maybe would detect it.
I sell swords in my shop. I mean, they're not like actual like medieval combat, you know, type swords, but they're replicas. And so if you really wanted to stab things with swords, that can be arranged.
Selena, can I have you actually can I have you deliver a few of these replica weapons, provided that you can confirm that they're iron or silver, to my house?
Fairy Bane. You want Fairy Bane? I mean, I could make you Fairy Bane.
Yes, please. I will.
That might be dangerous for you,
is.
though. You know, dear, that could be dangerous for you.
Savoy taps the sides of their earrings and says, I will remind you the measures that I take to remind myself where I come from.
All right, if you insist, I can absolutely do that for you.
I would appreciate that. If you can provide those weapons for us, that would be great. I will pay whatever the cost is that you need to obtain those. As far as these mimics go, Tilda, can you look into your occult research and find if there is anything that dispels the ability for them to imitate other objects? It seems that this is likely not the only case that we are going to be facing in Springfield from this. If Faith was attacked, there may already be others that are being attacked, and we need to make sure that they are protected. We should also likely update Jonas and Mira on that information.
That's a good idea. We should probably go. I mean, how to put this delicately? I'm curious to see if Jonah spent the night over there. So,
and you can see Savoy's face twitch. Like, that's it, though. It's just like a twitch at the corner of their lip. And otherwise, they remain stoic.
Look.
But yes, mimics usually, and this is not just in D&D, but shapeshifters of that nature in most stories that I've read tend to travel in groups or packs. Where there's one, there's usually several more. So that's a really good idea. I'll see what I can do to dispel magic or dispel illusions. And what's her name? Dang it.
Selena says, I could probably look into
Selena, thank you.
Some things myself as well. In fact, by all means, you are welcome to some of the books. Granted, they're more like, new age healing-ish kind of books, but I do have a few like old-fashioned Dungeons and Dragons manuals myself.
Savoy tilts their head, and I'm like, and says, I'm actually surprised I didn't think of this earlier, or nobody said this earlier. Tilda, Selena is likely going to be a great wealth of information for you. And I should have put you in contact with her earlier. And I'm so sorry, but I think you guys would be able to help each other out a lot.
That sounds like
Selena's
a really smart idea.
Selena's been helping me with Zahil. And like Savoy full on rolls their eyes back and like teeth clenches and everything, like when saying their name.
So
I figured that's
Faith,
probably what.
Faith's like, well, that's nice of you to tell her now.
I was a little preoccupied, Faith, when I left the house after a fight with a fucking ogre.
Was that what that was?
Yes.
Is that what's been knocking over the trees?
Yes.
Damn. So literally, this board game is coming to life. Tabletop game, whatever. That's great.
Yeah, so that's fine. I have all of the editions ever made already, but Selena, I had a couple of questions for you on supplies that I could use, actually.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
I understand you have a bunch of herbs and things like that.
Well, let's see. I mean, you best thing to do is come see for yourself. But I have things like incense. I have essential oils. I have, rocks and things of the like. I don't have much like in the way of like herbs. I mean, I'm not like a health food store or anything.
Well, I'm specifically looking for vervain and monk's hood.
I could see about that, or see if I can put in an order for something like that. It may be a oil as opposed to straight up herbs. Is that okay?
The real deal would be better, but oil would work in a pinch.
I mean, I could definitely see if I can find a someone who sells that. It might be good. Perhaps open like a tea shop accessory to my store. That would be adorable if we had, that is, anyone coming to our small town for tourism. But right now I only have deals with the oil sellers. But yeah, no, I'll see what I can do.
Okay, that'd be great. Doing some preemptive supplying here.
No, I totally understand. Faith looks kind of annoyed. He's like, "You're willing to open a tea shop, but you won't open my tattoo parlor?" She's like, "Dear, there wouldn't be any business for you. No one goes on vacation to get a tattoo."
Faith, your mother's right. If you want to open a tattoo parlor, you ought to be going to Louisiana.
I've been working on it. Doesn't help that I'm flat ass broke because our tourist industry's gone,
And Savoy very cheekily leans in, is like, "You can always come and work for me."
Oh God.
Yeah, you could work for Savoy and be their agent and, like Alaska.
She has agents in Alaska, or you want to get rid of me that quickly?
And Tilda just clears her throat and gives Faith a stern look and goes, "They have agents everywhere."
Right, sorry.
And yes, it would be great if you moved to Alaska.
Savoy just like coughs, and you can see like the light cover of blush in their face as they go to take a very hearty drink of whatever is in their breakfast glass.
Yeah.
I think that counts as a Tilda sass. I'm adding it to the counter.
Wow, whatever. You know what else sucks? The fact that it's only old people who play D&D in this fucking town. So
I play D&D.
yeah, exactly.
I'm not that much older than you.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm probably like maybe 12 years old. I see the confusion. See, I'm much more mature than you are, but I'm not that much older.
And Selena's like, "I'm old."
Okay.
In all actuality, when your mother doesn't need you anymore and you do need a job and you want to make a couple extra bucks, you always have a place within my company. You might not like the work, and as long as you work hard, I will pay you well enough to leave this town.
You know what?
Savoy is an excellent employer.
I don't trust her, but I might take you up on that.
We'll talk. I am sorry, Selena, for commandeering your offspring.
So it's like, oh, don't worry. I mean, it's not like there's been a lot of work for him to do recently, but I mean, it would be nice, once we get tourists back, I'll see about hiring again if he decides to take off.
I'm working on clearing the air for Springfield. I don't know if I can make any promises for the rest of this year, but hopefully next year we'll have a new kind of tourist in town.
Well, mimics, it's probably a good idea if the all of those tourists stay away. If there's like mimics and ogres and things, maybe.
Yeah. Yes. Anyways, I've covered everything that I feel like I needed to talk to you about. I have a few things that I need to that are of a pressing matter, but Tilda is an excellent resource for occult information. She might be able to help you just as much as you are able to help her. Feel free to use my house and my amenities as much as you need. I'm just a phone call away, but I am going to have to excuse myself.
Oh yes, no worries there. We should probably get back to it too.
Savoy gives Selena a very friendly parting, and again ruffles Faith's hair.
It's like,
Tilda just smirks behind her coffee cup as Savoy does that.
Savoy nods to Tilda and quickly leaves. And it just vanishes into somewhere in the house.
So, awkward silence.
Selena's like, I'm not awkward. I'm perfectly happy with the with the occasional silence. I mean, I could talk a storm, but
No, I'm usually awkward in silences. That's my way of being kind of less awkward. Doesn't really work that well.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I have a charm for that.
I'm happy with me.
If you say so.
Yeah, I have embraced my awkwardness. It's okay. But we do need to figure out a way to break illusion spells. That would be,
well, you're assuming,
I'm sure, invaluable.
You're assuming, dear, that the spells that they're casting spells. I don't know if they're casting spells. I think that they just can mimic objects wholesale.
If they're mimicking objects physically, they are. It would be literally impossible to change one's mass that quickly.
Well, think about, say, an octopus.
Octopi don't change their mass. They just contort themselves.
Or even it could be something else as opposed to illusion. It could be, say, mind games or something, psychological.
Tilda's phone buzzes, and she has received a text from Savoy that says chameleon aesthetic, and that's it.
Where is she?
Savoy
is in the bathroom here.
Yeah, pretty much. Like Savoy could hear. Savoy also has like that control room that the guy that always sits in the chair in a superhero movie that has like all the security screens around them. Boy has one of those too.
The command center. Love it. Yes, it could also be some sort of psychic ability or perhaps a light bending sort of thing where, but I mean, that would be essentially an illusion.
Or it could be
like a
something like
chameleon.
ninjutsu, where, they are just really good at making sure that they aren't noticed in public. There could be a whole myriad of things it is.
That's like some anime stuff. I don't think that's real.
Oh no, dear. I knew a man who actually learned ninjutsu in Japan. Isn't that cool?
Okay. That's great, but we need to figure out how these mimics do what they do. And I'm pretty sure they didn't study under, a master in Japan.
and Faith's
So
like, don't worry about it. She also, she also helped out a Saudi Arabian prince who asked for money on her email. And Selena's like, I did not.
Okay. So focusing, which is something that needs to happen. Focusing on the problem. So it's either an illusion of magical nature, it's a psychic ability, or it is a physical ability. The only way a physical ability like that would work is if it is a matter of bending light or camouflage like a chameleon. So, if we had a way to change the way the light is displayed, something like that, something like maybe, I imagine they produce some sort of heat, so infrared vision might help with something like that. If we could find a live subject to study. If it's a psychic ability, that is something I'm not sure how to defend against exactly. Unless it's also like psychic magic, which that seems more likely than, like some Star Trek telepathic alien type stuff.
It could be both. Who knows? If we're opening this door of possibilities, it could be any myriad of things. But I do agree that having a live subject, I mean, that's a very, very clinical word, but, having a specimen, I can do it too.
Also clinical, also correct.
Getting a live one, I think that would be the best way to figure out, wouldn't you think? Otherwise, we have no way of knowing for sure.
That's pretty much in several sentences what I just said.
I'm just summing up. I'm just summing up.
That's actually the opposite of summing up, but I appreciate the effort.
On a side note, Savoy's definitely going to give Jonas a call.
Is Jonas the exterminator now?
I said side note. It's unrelated.
Okay.
Tilda's just gonna try to wrap this conversation up because she's really not comfortable around such a cheerful extrovert.
It's funny. Essentially, she's more comfortable around Faith, who's just there, like, sullenly drinking a mimosa or whatever.
Oh no, she doesn't want to be around Faith either.
Yeah. Oh,
Savoy would definitely play Faith with alcohol.
Okay, so we need to narrow down possibilities, not expand them. So a live subject would be ideal. How do we get a live subject?
Well, do you know what mimics eat?
Presumably earlobes.
Face like. Actually, here, hold on. I've got props. Damn it.
Tilda just ignores him.
And Selena's like, well, I mean, it's entirely possible they're probably carnivorous then. So why
It
don't
would
we
seem.
go to the store and get some chicken legs and set up some traps. Listen, town, mimic traps.
So, in Springfield, Louisiana, you want to get raw chicken and set up traps
Oh yes, absolutely.
for mimics.
Yes. I mean,
Sure,
we
that
make,
won't attract anything else.
I've heard that we've had a giant crocodile problem too, so maybe we'll kill two birds with one stone.
That was actually an ogre. We already took care of it.
Oh, I see. Faith's like, huh. Well, just pay attention to your surroundings. You know, if there's two fucking garbage cans, it can't be that hard.
Well, there's 2 garbage cans in here, but I'm not freaking out. And Tilda just looks at Faith and then looks at the 1 garbage can in the room.
Okay, you fucking suck. Don't pull my leg like that. Listen, one earlobe
Thanks
was
for the
enough.
follow, Madastico? I'm probably butchering that, but thanks for the follow. Welcome to the guild. Yeah, so tell you what, you seem very eager to and energetic and you know all of that. So I will put you on chicken leg trap duty for the mimics. Let me know how that goes. I'm gonna try a couple of things on my end.
Absolutely, I would love to try it. What's a good idea? And Faith is just like, don't encourage her. Don't encourage her.
For like the one time ever, Tilda looks at Faith and just kind of gives them a look of like, I'm just trying to get them out of here. Like, I agree.
So, yeah, so Selena's like, absolutely. And once one of us gets one, then we can go and, you know, reconvene and figure this out. Excellent. Oh, by the way,
Okay.
you have my card, don't you? Faith gave you that, correct?
I do, yes. From when Faith barged into my bedroom.
Yes, it's indeed the charmer. And Faith's just like, oh my god. Anyways, yes, please give me a call if you find anything, and I will call Subway if I find anything.
Okay, perfect.
The chicken legs will totally work.
Yeah, chicken legs, great idea. Well, bye.
So Savoy gives Jonas a call at the next available opportunity.
Go forth.
So ring ring.
Okay, wait, before Jonas picks up, I need to ask Vanessa, would Mira have even invited Jonas to stay? She'd probably push him out, I'm assuming.
Yeah, see, Mira probably wouldn't let him stay. Me, on the other hand, I'm trying to push my own agenda. Vanessa wants to push the agenda.
Aren't we all?
Given her current mental state, she would probably send him back to his hotel. Yeah.
And Jonas probably would not have even asked because he would have picked up the hints. And also
Also, a
Didn't want-
reminder that there's a freaking little girl that still Mira is hiding from everyone, and nobody has discovered yet.
yes, but
Of
Jonas
course.
would have slept on the couch anyways, so you know.
But girl needs her juice and pee, and all of that gets awkward real fast.
I'm sure Mira thought of that. She's
Okay.
pushing less of an agenda than I am.
Okay, so Jonas picks up the phone. Hey, Savoy, good morning.
Good morning. I just spoke with a family friend that has been helping me with some of the stuff that's going on. Anyways, I mentioned them last night. Her son was bitten in the ear by something, and I believe that it is the same thing that we saw last night. I just wanted to check in with you and let you know that it is a mimic in reference to D&D. Anyways, I thought you'd probably know what that is and wanted to update you on that information and let you know that they probably travel in groups or packs, and that if you saw one, there may be more. And did you stay at Mira's last night?
Whoa, that's so actually I actually don't know what a mimic is, but I'm assuming it's that thing we saw.
I mean, like it mimics inanimate objects from what I gathered. It just looks like other things, like it pretends to look like other things, but it's not. And then it's probably carnivorous. Anyways, I was only asking if you had stayed at Mirrors because maybe you may have run into them again.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't stay at Mira's. But on an unrelated thing, aren't you and Tilda like dating or something?
No! Why? Why does everybody think Tilda and I are? No, the answer is no. The answer is no, 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 no. No.
It's because everyone else can see the writing on the walls.
I mean, I wasn't jealous or anything, but you know.
I don't even know what to say. No, Tilda and I are not dating. She just did some sweet. I've never had somebody buy me gifts before, and it caught me off guard. And I'm sorry if there was like any assumed feelings. I want to clear the air and let you know that nothing is going on. I mean, it didn't really. I mean, okay. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this at all. I'm changing the subject. Back to the mimic. Jonas, have you seen any more of these things? Savoy's an emotional train wreck when it comes to relationships.
No, I haven't.
Well, it sounds like Tilda and this family friend of mine are kind of banding together to figure this out. And you, out of all of us, have the most experience with the Fey world. And I had wanted to call and see if maybe you wanted to join the hunt, or at least come over for lunch.
Oh, lunch sounds great. I would love to come over for lunch. But if you're looking for somebody who spent a lot of time in the Fey world, like, have you called Mira yet to see if she?
When we left last night, I wasn't entirely certain Mira still wanted to talk to me.
That's fair. That's fair.
I was a little inebriated and I said a lot of things, and some of those things I don't entirely remember, and I am very ashamed of myself and cannot find myself calling her. So if you feel comfortable calling her, which I'm sure you do, you should definitely call her and let her know. Savoy's uncharacteristically awkward at the moment.
Okay, so I mean, I hate to make this situation like any more weird than it is, but was Mira invited to lunch too, or is that just like you and me, or?
There's like this pause, like a very clear breath before Savoy says anything. And well, I mean, it could be open to Mira if you would prefer. But I had just initially invited you, but now that you mention it, I mean, not inviting Mira could potentially be very offending. She seems a little easily offended. And I would rather us all working in peace. And I suddenly don't know what to do with myself or this phone call.
Now, Jonas is starting to get a little bit more playful. He can just sense that Savoy is very uncomfortable, so he lightens his tone up a bit, and he jabs a little bit. He's like, "Well, I mean, it's only fair that if you bring your girlfriend, I get to bring mine, right?"
Wait,
Oh!
Jonas, are you seeing Mira? When did that happen? When did I miss something? Oh my God!
Savoy.
You know what, Jonas?
No, Savoy! I was
What?
joking. I was teasing you.
Oh my God!
I would love to come over for lunch, but get back. Like, just let me know as soon as you've decided if you want Mira to come too or not, because
I mean, fuck. For all business-minded things, it's probably appropriate for everybody to be there so that we can all be on the same page. As a manager.
oh my gosh, Savoy, you're too cute.
What do you mean by cute?
Okay, you know what? I think I'll just get back to you later.
I feel like I need an answer right now. I mean, you don't have to give me an answer right now. I've been really stressed out and I'm a little thin right now and I'm saying a lot of things that I wasn't really prepared to say. Anyways, let me know. I'll talk to you later. Now you have the information about that mimic, and hangs up.
Hey, Savoy, I think you have a text notification on your phone now.
Oh my gosh. Did Tilda hear her screaming or what?
Jonas is gonna call
No.
Mira after we read this text.
Did
I mean,
Mira
it depends on
forgive
how
them for-
close to Savoy Tilda was when that phone call happened. But if they were upstairs, or if Tilda was upstairs, yes, you probably heard Savoy having a mild breakdown.
Tilda doesn't give it any mind. She's just like, okay, it's Savoy being Savoy, it's fine.
Savoy being really fucking awkward on the phone.
Yeah. Tilda's like, okay, I don't hear Zaheel cackles, so I'm guessing everything's okay.
I suppose this would be a decent time to roll a cool check, but I'm gonna put that off because Zaheel hasn't made a show in a significant number of days.
Yes.
Very
The boy has a sign on the wall that says no incident in 5 days.
That's it.
But yeah, the text message is in Roll20 chat, by the way. That Tilda sent to Savoy.
Yeah. So, are we gonna read that, or is?
I mean, it's up on the
on the
screen in the stream
yeah,
for
they can
everybody
see
to
it.
read.
Okay.
So you're good.
Okay. So Jonas is gonna call up Mira.
Now, I have a question here. I'm gonna push my agenda a little bit, but also it's valid this time. So,
You're
Mira
hilarious.
actually give you any weirdo her phone number. don't think so.
You know what? But Savoy has all the contact information for everybody in town.
That is true. So I guess you'll just have to deal with the fallout of calling Mira and her being like, how the fuck did you get my phone number?
Well, yeah. Well, Jonas. Did Savoy give Jonas?
Jonas,
the
if
phone
he
number?
realizes he doesn't have Mira's number, will just drive over to her house.
Yeah, that's
Savoy's
not
not even going to realize that nobody else has Mira's number.
What?
Savoy doesn't realize that no
Oh.
one else has Mira's phone number but themselves.
Anyway, that's not exact. That it's not at all what I wanted. So continue.
Right. So, but I mean, okay, is Jonas actually Jonas might not just show up at Mira's house again because he feels bad for just showing up unannounced the past few times. So Jonas is going to quickly call Savoy back and ask if Savoy knows Mira's number.
Y'all really try to burst my bubble today, huh?
Aw.
Savoy receives the call and thinks about not answering, and then answers anyways and is like, what do you need, Jonas?
Oh, hey, Savoy, sorry. This could probably have been done over text, but I don't have Mira's number. Do you have Mira's number?
You know what? I do. And I'm not sure if it's entirely appropriate for me to give it to you, but under the circumstances, because I don't want to do it, I will give it to you. So Savoy gives Mira's number to Jonas because Savoy is just like,
Do you think Mira would be okay with me using this number?
You know what? I don't know. From her previous responses to communication, I feel like she would be really upset with me for giving it to you, but I also feel like she kind of appreciates and likes you, so just roll with it. It's fine. I'll take the blowout.
Okay, thanks. Okay, now Jonas is gonna hang up and call Mira.
All right,
Mira-
call.
When Mira gets the call, she doesn't recognize the phone number, but then again, Mira doesn't recognize any phone numbers because she doesn't know how to save contacts in her phone, so that's fine. So it takes a couple of rings, but she does answer, and there's just a tentative hello from the other side.
Mira?
There's a pause, and she says, Jonas?
Yeah, hey, I hope it's okay, that I'm calling you.
Yeah, I don't remember giving you my phone number, but
Yeah, and I
Okay.
feel bad about that. But so I got it from Savoy.
you can almost hear her squinting her eyes through the phone. But she doesn't say
So-
anything.
Lily's like, is that the guy who was here with the food last night that's on the phone right now?
There's like a muffling
Hugging.
as if Mira's like holding the phone to her shirt so that she can talk to Lily. Like it's just a very like muffled rattling of clothes, and she's like, "Not now. Can you just shh for 1 second?" And then she goes back to the phone.
Hey,
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there somebody there with you?
No, it's the TV.
Oh, okay.
That TV again.
Jonas is like,
Always that TV.
Jonas is 25% sure that Mira like has a secret affair going on.
25.
Oh, Lily and Mira, the true shit. I hate myself.
So I was just making sure. I was wondering if you'd seen any more of those things that we saw last night.
Her voice is a little tighter when she answers. Like clearly, this is something that's been bothering her. And she just says like, "No, I have looked, but there doesn't seem to be anything else."
Um, I was just wondering, are those like, what are those exactly?
Mira, I was debating on calling them the little bastards, but anyway, Mira explains to Jonas.
I love it.
They're the little bastards. No,
Oh,
that's
perfect.
for the goblins, so she can't do that for the mimics. But
They're all little bastards, all of them. Just all the little fairies that are clearly less than Mira are all little bastards.
Now we know that Mira is very, very on the side of magical creatures, so that's not totally.
They're beneath her. No, I'm kidding.
No, she's just annoyed by a lot of things. That's all. She just says like, they're creatures that take on the form of mundane objects, and you can't really discern that they're there unless you're paying very close attention, which is quite well, to say the least, it's quite inconvenient.
Yeah. So I just wanted to let you know that I know that you don't really get along with Zahil or Doc, but Savoy's getting a group of people together to figure out the root of all of the mimics. And I thought that you would be a really good resource, and also I know that you can handle yourself and all that, but I mean, I do worry about you out there all alone.
There's just silence from Mira's end.
Oh, I'm sorry, did I make you mad?
Is this kid for real?
Mira says no. No, I'm not mad. I'm not mad, Jonas.
So, would you want to come over to Savoy's house to group with everybody? I think Savoy's having lunch served, and also I could come pick you up and drive you there, and that boyfriend that you're hiding and calling the TV.
That almost gets a little chuckle from Mira. And she's just like, no, Jonas, there's nobody hiding. I'm not hiding a man at my. There's no man.
Oh, is there like a woman
convincing.
then?
No, Jonas, there's no woman.
A non-binary person?
Jonas, I am not hiding an adult in my home.
A child?
There is nobody in my home that I would want to tell you about. There's nobody of particular interest at my home. Not yeah.
That's not convincing in the slightest, Mira.
Mira just sighs. Like she clearly takes the phone away from her ear, and there's just a sigh.
Meanwhile, Lily's at the fridge getting another juice box. Like nothing's wrong.
Completely opposite to Savoy. Like Mira is quiet. It's not that she can't stop talking. It's the very, very opposite. She just doesn't. She's not being difficult on purpose for once in her life, but it's just she has no response. She's having an internal meltdown right now. Here is this kid being nice to her again for no reason, and it's fucking with her.
Um. Okay. Oh, but did you want that ride though?
I don't know if it's a good idea for me to go to Savoy's house. I don't exactly think I'm the most welcome there.
What about my house? I can invite everybody over to my house, and by house I mean motel room. Slash maybe even the diner across the street.
Is that going to be the Scooby hangout? Is the diner across the street? Oh, buddy.
Mira's like, damn it, things go wrong. At least we're in public. She says, figure out what you want to do and text me the information. And whatever you guys decide, we'll do that. Which is a very big concession on her part. She's letting you guys figure out the details, and she's just going to bring her ass there. So,
Okay. Are you sure? Like, what if everybody decides they want to do it at Savoy's place? Would you still come?
figure out what you want to do and let me know, and I'll be there.
Okay. Well, I'll text you later, I guess.
All right, Jonas. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, Mira.
And she hangs
up. Awesome. Well, with that, we are going to get the gang all together. But first, we're going to take a short break.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll be back in about 5 or 10 minutes. We'll find out more about Jonas and Mira and Tilda and Savoy and their conversations and all kinds of stuff. Totally not shipping here.
No.
But we'll be back in about 5 or 10 minutes. Hey, we're back. So take it away, Rowan.
All right. So where do you guys decide to meet up? Like, just no need to.
Savoy is
road trip it.
100% okay having Mira in the house. And
Okay.
Savoy would ensure that everybody in the house was also understanding that they are 100% okay with Mira being in the house.
The only one who has issues is Tilda, and Tilda can suck it. I mean, what?
So much hate for Tilda.
Get out of here, Tilda.
God. Tilda's like, I don't care, and we've got. I mean, the house is secured now. I don't think anything's gonna go on walkabout at this time, so sure.
Nobody has informed Mira that if she doesn't have something before she tries to get into the house, can y'all please save this girl from that turmoil?
Yes, I was literally about to say Tilda looks to
Oh my
Savoy
goodness.
and hands them the guest pass. Like, oh yeah, here's the magical guest pass. That makes it so she won't get put into the dungeon. And the guest pass is it's like one of those giant public bathroom keys. So it's got it's like a bathroom sign, except it says guest pass instead of bathroom, and a little keychain on an actual key.
So rather than task any of the servants with this, Savoy is going to stand in the driveway waiting for Mira with this bathroom key. Just like.
Like, it would fit in your back pocket. Like, you don't have
Okay.
to hold it, but it's
just, it's like
it's
tucked into
big.
your suit coat.
No, the one I
I had
had
a-
in elementary school was about like this big, wooden paddle. Seriously, with the bathroom key, because they have to humiliate every kid who needs to pee ever.
it's like the size of a remote, so like this size with a keychain on it.
You guys, maybe it's because I'm Canadian, but all we had to do was raise our hands and say, yo, I gotta pee. And they were like, all right, see ya.
It is because you're Canadian, because Americans can't be trusted to go pee by themselves at an adolescent age.
Oh my God.
That's
All
why
right,
girls
then.
always go in groups.
We are an idiotic and paranoid people. I'm sorry.
It's part of our culture. You can't fault us. Our parents taught us to be this way.
God.
All right. Anyways, so all right, you meet up. Is it just the four of you, or did you invite like Selena and Faith?
Selena and Faith, if Jonas got back and was like, yeah, Mira's coming, Savoy would be like, hey, Selena and Faith.
Oh
Oh no! Jonas did not understand.
Okay,
Oh, no.
Savoy doesn't know how to communicate.
So calling it right now, Mira and Faith will be unstoppable.
Absolutely.
And Selena's gonna get herself murdered.
I feel like Marina, I was going to say Selena and Mira. Marina, that's the new. I feel like Mira and Faith are going to be like the tag team from hell for these people.
Oh my goodness.
Tilda's
And I love
worst
how you-
nightmare.
What about Tilda?
I said it's going to be Tilda's worst nightmare. Faith and Mira
Oh,
together.
yeah. Yeah.
Yes, Gord, amazing. So, all right. So by the time Jonas, by the time you get there with Mira, Selena and Faith are already there. Actually, I believe Selena stays at her shop because I mean it's the middle of the day. She has to work, so it's just Faith.
Oh gosh.
So I'm like, hold up a minute.
Oh, what's the name of the artist? George Michael. That's it. So knowing that Faith is going to be there, as soon as Tilda finds out, she pulls up that oldies station on her phone and starts playing George Michael's Faith on repeat.
And he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I mean, no, nothing. It's just a catchy song.
Right.
So Savoy has since showered and changed and waits, doesn't come into the house until they've met with Mira.
I feel like I know this is totally arbitrary, but Rowan can tell you that I'm very picky when it comes to describing my character's clothing. I don't know why that is, but you know what? We're going to go with it. In the fairy version of a midlife crisis, Mira does not show up to dinner dressed in her business style nor her casual style. This girl shows up, bright red hair up in a high ponytail. She's got like a tight peplum black shirt, like black pants, these high heel red pumps. Like she could murder a man with the size of that heel. That's the way she shows up to Savoy's house.
Savoy is awestruck for a moment.
It's like, oh no, my gay is showing.
Very appreciatively watches Mira saunter effortlessly up the drive.
Oh my gosh.
You're like, Mira gets
No
there, and
indication.
Savoy's like, mouth suddenly dry. And is like fumbling with their pockets all of a sudden. They're like, hold on, there's a reason why I'm meeting you here.
So
it's right-
wait,
it's
wait,
right
hold
here.
on.
Will you come here?
So Faith is like watching her as well and goes, who invited the slut with the fuck me pumps?
You fucking mouth, child. And then turns back to Mira.
Question. Would Jonas have arrived before Mira? Probably. So if Jonas was out there too,
Didn't he drive her?
no, because Mira said she'd meet him there.
Okay.
So Jonas is gonna like punch Faith in the arm like really hard to give him a dead arm.
Is Mira
Like,
close
God,
enough to
ow.
hear?
You shut your mouth.
Fine.
Is Mira close enough
Jesus.
to hear
Oh.
that comment?
I don't think so. I mean, I think she's still outside.
Okay.
I just realized I should probably describe what Tilda's wearing, because she's obviously not wearing her
What
pajamas
are
still.
you wearing, Tilda?
I was gonna say
So-
that.
So with it being lunch, Tilda's just like, okay, cool, whatevs, casual, right? So she's got like her hair in a ponytail with, or not a ponytail, like probably more like a messy bun with like a pencil in it, and probably the same hoodie from before. So it's a 20th anniversary Critical Role hoodie. Probably like just a baby doll t-shirt, maybe with like some dice on it, since she figures the cat's out of the bag, might as well embrace it. Probably jeans, sneakers, and has like a notebook out that she's steadily writing in as she's walking around and interacting with people.
Okay.
So she comes out and sees Mary and just like, I might have underdressed.
The state of dress is not important. It's lunch. For God's sake, we don't even have a second fork for this dinner. I mean, meal.
Faith's like, I wouldn't even know what to do with a second fork anyways.
You'd have to get forked once first.
Mira could tell you where to put that fork.
Savoy just like ignores everything, and it like is focused back on Mira and is like, I really appreciate you deciding to come today. There have been precautions put on the house to protect us from other magical creatures, and Tilda has made you a guest pass. And I'm wearing my pass on me, so that in the event that I lose control, I don't get teleported into a weird dungeon cell in my basement.
Kinky.
So I would recommend keeping this on you while you are in the house. I'll talk to Tilda about maybe making it smaller.
I could make it like into a bracelet or something. I just made a generic guest pass. It wasn't specifically for you, Mira, necessarily.
On another note, if you do try to make it iron, it won't work on her. So
She's a red cap.
We
So Faith is like overhearing this conversation, like, hold on. So she's also a fairy. Gotcha.
The only reason you don't have a more permanent pass or it hasn't been discussed is because we wanted to make sure that you felt comfortable even coming here. We understand that the actions from a week or so ago has left you uncertain of how you feel about some of us. And I would only like to encourage peace because we're fighting something we don't understand. And if we can get all the help we can, I will do my damnedest to make sure that that help feels comfortable.
Mira is polite enough to let Savoy say what they have to say before giving just a tight-lipped little smirk and says, well, Savoy, glad to see you're not intoxicated today. And then
Savoy just looks down at their feet.
Damn. No, here's Faith just like, I changed my mind. I like her.
I would feel more comfortable if you stayed away from her.
But it doesn't have very much bite to it. Like, she's not here to fight. She told Jonas that she would come and listen to what they had to say. So it's not as savage as it could be. It's just more of like an observation. But she gives a little nod, and she says, you know, I'll try to see what I can offer to you. I don't know if there's much that I can offer right now, but we'll see.
All right. Well, after you. And Savoy kind of gives like the whooshy arm to allow Mira, not to allow, but to encourage her into the house.
And she goes, and it's with this annoying grace, and her ponytail doesn't even swish annoyingly either.
Oh my god. So I don't know, Faith's just over there, like with his drink, I guess. Savoy's giving him beer, but of course it's like a fancy beer, and he's just like, you know, I'm okay with cheap beer. I was at college.
Savoy has provided Faith with like a fucking Belgium import. Because if anybody's going to be drinking alcohol, it might as well be good alcohol.
It's like, listen, I've been drinking since I was 18. Like, you don't have to like spoil me or pop that cherry, you know?
I'm not inappropriate. Ignores Faith.
Don't worry.
And turns around and takes a seat. Lunch is served. The only exception to the very nice, somewhat light, airy lunch is that Mira is brought a nice chilled glass of blood instead of the
Okay, so
normal
listen, I might be out of the loop. I'm Faith, by the way. Not that anyone bothered. Whatever. Is she like a vampire fairy? Okay. What is she? Also,
Why-
who's that? And points
Mira
at
takes
Jonas.
this opportunity to smile, just the most dazzling smile, fangs on full display.
Wait. At
Nice.
Jonas?
Yeah, because I don't think he's met Jonas at this point.
Wait.
Yeah, watch your
2 steps back. What just happened?
What?
Eyes. Watch it.
I think we got a little bit confused. Also, Tilda goes, yeah, I'll take a Stella Artois. Because I have taste. Unlike Faith.
Because
Savoy
I
takes
was
care of
aware.
it. Go on.
No, last I was aware, Faith was introducing herself. I was gonna type what Jonas's response was to seeing Mira, and then I got lost.
Okay.
And then I heard Jonas and smiled. I was like, oh, what?
Yeah, sorry. Faith, I don't think has been introduced to Jonas.
Or
No one, I
Mira.
don't, or Mira. Yeah. So I mean, he's commenting on Mira because she's more interesting than you, Jonas. Sorry.
Well, there's a
But,
couple of Fae that would beg to differ, but you know.
Oh my god. 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 Anyways, but either way, like no one has bothered to introduce Faith to Jonas either. So he's like commenting on Mira, and then he was like, also, who's that? This guy that just punched him, dead armed him.
Okay. Faith. When you become an adult, it's very important for you to ask your questions to people who are in the room, to their face, and not to somebody standing next to them. Mira, would you like to introduce yourself? Faith and his family are very familiar, at least with my kind, and the folklore surrounding Fae kind, as per the this world's views.
Mira like looks down her nose at Faith, and she just goes, interesting that they know about you and they still have so much attitude. But she reaches across the table and kind of like offers a hand, but it's not like a friendly handshake, like hand out. It's more of like a dainty, like royalty, like don't touch too much of my skin or I will bludgeon you.
Huh. He kind of gives her this like a sideways look, like, listen, I may know what and just as I said sideways look, Yasmin, you tilted your head like all the way, and I'm like, okay, listen, not that far. It's like, you know, funny, for pretty much an endangered species, you have a lot of sass yourself, and takes her hand.
She shakes it very briefly, but then lets go pretty quickly because, you know, it's rare that she's touching a human, so not too much of that. But she takes her hand back and she just says, well, you can call me Mirabelle.
All right.
And Faith, the gentleman sitting next to you is Jonas. Jonas has also had experience with the Fae in a different regard, and is
So like all sexual, or
why don't you ask Jonas that? I don't want to know that information.
he gets this kind of smug look because he knows he's pressing buttons.
I will cut you off.
Jonas doesn't say anything out loud to Faith, but Jonas is a bit irritated.
Oh my gosh!
Jonas is
Did
telling
someone
off.
actually get under someone's skin?
You had to start with the Mira comment. You just had to. Jonas just smiles, and it's not as like happy and like big as it normally is. He just like smiles very politely and is like, "Nice to meet you. I'm Jonas."
My angel, I love him.
And no, I did not do anything sexual with fairies.
It was a joke.
Tilda's gonna tap Faith on the shoulder and be like, "Here, come, I need to tell you something."
What?
I'll pick it up.
She'll whisper to Faith and be like, "All right, look, like you're not winning very many brownie points here, and normally I'd be all for that, but we really need Mira to, feel comfortable here. So, and you seem to be, want to get on their good side, so I'll give you this. Red caps, as weird as it sounds, really like hugs. Just surprise hugs."
Okay, we're trying this.
Wait.
So,
did you say,
just keep that in mind.
Did you say red caps?
Yeah.
Right. Well, here, you give her a hug first, and I'll follow suit. How about that?
I'm gonna try to convince him with charm, and let's see what happens.
Yes, please.
Oh, Jesus.
It's still an 8. Awesome.
Here, take a. I'm gonna roll a d6 against you. How about that?
Oh, you're mean.
Raven, you can add a
Yes, well.
d6.
I could.
Faith is salty. Faith is salty all the time towards everyone. So I feel like that's a a d6 against you. That's -4.
All right, fine. That's +6, so that's a 10 total.
10 total. So wait, -6 plus 6.
I rolled a d6 as well.
You guys really want
So
this episode, don't you?
-4 from you,
Okay.
which would take it down to a 4, then plus a 6 for me because I just rolled a d6
That
as
is
well.
a 10.
Makes it a 10. So it's a full success now. Because fuck you, Faith.
Fuck you, Faith.
We're really gonna kill Selena's son this episode. Okay.
Can Savoy sniff out trouble?
Here, roll investigate a mystery. So
Do we want
plus-
Savoy to sniff out trouble?
I am trying so hard to unite us. Savoy just really wants this to go well, and they've just been uncomfortable and awkward all day. If one thing could go right for them, that would be awesome.
Hey, Faith doesn't have to do it. Faith is just convinced that it's true.
Yeah, that's the thing, is I don't think Faith is one of those people who would just hug somebody at all.
Savoy
Like that's
doesn't even
completely out of character,
notice.
but
By the way.
okay. Yeah, Faith's like, do they know? Is that before or after the blood?
Like, no, they legitimately they enjoy hugs. It will make them it will endear you to them.
All right, I'll keep it in mind if I decide to go that route. I'm having kind of fun annoying people, but
Faith will
Well,
remember.
if she gets particularly murderous towards you, then now you know how to stop it.
it's like I'll keep that in mind.
So Savoy allows people to kind of get into their meal before launching into a discussion.
Okay.
All right.
So probably about 10 minutes after lunch has been served, Savoy kind of steeples their hands over their dinner plate and sets their chin and looks between everybody and clears their I know you guys understand the premise of why we're having this lunch, but I wanted to make sure that we were all on the same page. It seems that this shadow prince or whatever the fuck, whoever he is that visited us, has
You
kept
do realize that they called me the Shadow Prince in high school, right?
what? Is that Faith?
Yes.
Faith, can you please shut the fuck up for 10 minutes so I can talk?
Okay, fine.
I like you, but I
Mira
don't
Tilda's
like
just
you
drinking
this
her beer,
much.
smirking.
Let me finish.
Okay, sorry.
We were contacted the night before we visited Mira with the Shadow Prince, who is essentially the reason why this portal between the Fey world and this world has opened. Lord really knows why or what's going on, but I assume that he's the reason why we have come in contact with mimics, for lack of a better term, which are they were these little wormy, gross creatures that disguised themselves as doppelgangers of inanimate objects. I don't know if they can disguise themselves as anything other than inanimate objects. I have since read the information online according to for mimics in accordance to D&D, and according to that, it's primarily inanimate objects, but I don't want us to be blindsided in the event that one of these things can look like another person. There are shapeshifters. Anyways, Mira, or not Mira, Tilda and Faith's mother, Selena, have been, which is why Faith is here, have been working on setting traps around town to capture live specimens so that we can find more information. But they seem to be carnivorous and they are attacking people. Savoy gestures to Faith with their bandaged side of their head and says, if Faith is likely not the only one, but the only one that we've heard about. If Faith is the only one, there are more cases that I'm sure are going to start rolling in and that we will be hearing about as these creatures travel likely in groups. And so what we saw last night is not the only one.
Faith kind of pauses and is like, "Can I talk now?"
Yes, you may talk.
So listen, this
As anything, Mira's taking a sip of her blood, and she goes, "I don't think it's been 10 minutes yet."
Wait, say that again.
I couldn't understand you. Say it again.
She takes a sip of the blood and she like motions to Faith. She says, "I don't think it's been 10 minutes yet."
oh haha.
You may speak. Though. I've
yeah,
said my
she doesn't-
piece.
Fine. Can confirm just yeah, the thing after everything that you said this morning over breakfast, I was thinking about the situation. And what exactly happened when I got my ear bit off. But it was pretty damn small. I don't know what the one that you encountered was, but I seriously thought the thing was a fucking spider. It was an earbud, but as soon as I picked it up, well, whoops, I put a fucking spider thing in my ear. But the funny thing is I couldn't see the other object at all. Not until it scurried off under the bed or something.
Huh. So keeping that in mind, it could be masking the object that it's duplicating, and some of us may be able to see it and some of us may not. It likely depends on the amount of attention that we're paying it, environmental issues, what until we have a live subject to investigate. Mira,
And
do you
hold
have
on.
any experience with something like this?
Hold on. I wanted to add another thing. You said these things are probably in groups. Are you saying my whole damn room could be infested with mimics?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I'm
Actually,
not okay with that.
well, if you would all please lend me your ear, except for Faith.
You did that on purpose, and I know it.
Anyways, yes, they do tend to be in groups, so there's likely more either in your room or in the building or in the general area. And yeah, you need to be careful with that. But I've basically narrowed it down to it's either some sort of illusion magic, some sort of psychic ability or magic, or some sort of physical camouflage, bending light around something to essentially cloak it, if you will. I'm not inclined to believe that it's a physical ability as far as like literally changing itself into something, because that would require it to change its mass. The one that we saw looked like a glass and cigarettes and things like that, and it was the it was smaller than the things that it was turning into. So I don't think it's a physical ability. So hopefully we can find one to study it, but I'm working on the dispel magic route. Selena's working on trapping one. We'll see how that goes. But I also had the idea of maybe we could try some sort of infrared equipment. I'm sure these things give off some sort of heat signature. So if something is hotter than it should be, then that would be an indication.
I will have an infrared camera delivered to the house tomorrow. And Savoy hops on their phone.
Thank you so much, Savoy.
And orders it. Because they are
So, oh, okay, hold the fucking phone. Do you think they would like to be in places where there's a lot of shit, like storage containers or, stores full of small objects, like my mom's
Probably.
store, where she's alone right now?
I mean, that's actually a really good commentary on that. And in retrospect, your mom is probably in danger, and we should give her a call immediately.
Mira takes another
shit.
pull of the glass of blood, and she goes, "Well, that's unfortunate."
Jonas like jumps out of his chair and he just doesn't even wait for anything. He's just gone. He's out there. He's in his car and he's driving away.
Oh my God, Jonas!
Mira is suddenly very uncomfortable with these people. Like you have to see it as like Jonas is somewhat of a safety blanket for her now. Like as long as he's there, she has some degree of comfort. Now that's gone. Now she's agitated.
So, unbeknownst to Savoy, Mira's agitation, Savoy like stands up, pushes their chair back, points at Faith, and is like, "Get on the phone with your mom right now. We're getting in the car."
I've got my motorcycle. If anyone else needs a ride, I mean, I've got an extra helmet.
Hold up a minute. There's been guild coins spent for Busta Rhyme for the GM, specifically Faith, if at all possible.
Oh no!
Rhyming for 5 minutes.
Oh no! Oh no!
Is that Gwen?
Oh
Yeah.
no! Gwen, why?
And
I can't
5
believe
minutes
you've done
on the
this.
clock.
So Faith jumps up with a start. He can hear the beating of his heart. He grabs his phone and phones home. As he walks the next block, where his bike sits near a pike. God damn it.
Why is there a bike?
I don't know.
It's a big thing in the road.
He puts on his helmet What rhymes with helmet? God.
You don't have to necessarily rhyme every 3 words.
You can't. That's how we want to know. That's how we want to do. I can.
What's
Just
that?
try to help.
Bahamut?
We love a literary genius. Only respect for my GM.
Thank you. Guess who's getting gets to roll gets an extra roll next time. Yes. So
that didn't rhyme that time.
I wasn't playing Faith. Okay. Faith puts in the key, turns with the click. He can feel his bike start to tick. What?
Still got 3 minutes of this.
Help me. So and so he drives away, not a moment astray, heading back into town, where there's not even a sound, as people are in their homes, unbeknownst. I'm stretching. God.
This shit is hard. You can stretch.
Okay. Not knowing the terrors that lurk under.
You were making this so hard on yourself. It's like, what's the hardest word to rhyme that I can think of? I'm gonna put that at the end of my sentence.
I'm not thinking ahead. That's the problem. I will literally think of a word. Okay, this ends a phrase. God damn it. I'm looking up the horrors. Horrors doesn't work either.
Try to
That kind of rhymes with helmet.
Right. What gives him a fright?
The bad things that lurk
In the night. Lurk in the night. It gives him a fright to know that his mom is in trouble.
Oh, Gwen said that they wanted to make it easy on you. It's just when Faith speaks.
It's too bad because Faith doesn't have speaking lines right now.
Hey, Rowan, it's okay that Faith doesn't have speaking lines right now, so just don't have a cow. He's just riding on his bike. That
was parked by a
bastard
pike.
of a little tyke. And hopefully doesn't get impaled on a pike, yeah.
Oh my god. It's that pike by the side of the road. Anyways.
Though that sounds like something Tilda and Mara would quite like.
Sounds like he's going in circles. Keep seeing that damn pike.
Savoy gets everybody else into the car and peels off after Jonas and Faith.
Yes. Jonas is there first. Luckily he's not in a hearse. In front of the Moonstone Magic Shop. Right by the shop is a machine that sells pop.
That's 5 minutes.
Oh, thank God.
Now, do we want to run back over what just happened in normal speak so I can follow along more easily?
Okay, listen. He just literally, that was a very verbose to say he once nobody needs a ride, he just peels off on his motorbike.
And Savoy ushers everybody else into a car and heads.
On the bright side, there weren't any clementines happening like in the scene for this part, so you didn't end a sentence with orange.
I would have tried.
You know, slant rhyming is a thing.
Yeah, slant rhymes.
Was she glad I didn't say orange?
Oh
Door
my gosh.
hinge.
Orange.
I'm trying.
Makes me think of Monkey Island every time.
Anyways, so yeah, Faith can't get a hold of his mom. He's calling on the way, and
Does Faith
No.
let Savoy know?
yeah, I guess once he gets off his bike, he calls and is kind of pacing. He's like, "Hey, Savoy, I can't get a hold of mom."
Savoy says, just meet us at the shop. We're right behind you.
Right.
I have a shotgun underneath my driver's seat.
Why the fuck? You know what? You've managed to kill an ogre or something, so like, I shouldn't ask these questions.
So they pull up. Did Mira get in the car with everybody?
She's just back at home drinking blood. No, she gets in the car.
Okay. So Mira piles in the car. They all get there and they show up last, essentially. Savoy gets out of the car and pulls the shotgun and just like totes it over their shoulder, walks up to the shop door and tries the doorknob in case it's open. If it's not, Savoy kicks the door down.
Wait,
It's open.
wait. So Jonas
But-
would have arrived first, and he wouldn't have waited for
Yes.
anybody else. He would have just
Okay. Got
gone
it.
in.
So, all right, Jonas. You rush in. The store seems normal from where you are. There's nothing really out of place. And then Selena looks up from the table, and she's like, "Oh, fancy seeing you here. I was just finishing up a beautiful conversation with this lovely lady here," and she gestures to Naomi.
Jesus Christ. I
Is
was
there
not
something
ready
the
for
matter?
this.
I haven't met you before, so I don't know why it's a fancy seeing you here sort of situation.
I've seen you around, son.
What's your name?
Jonas is
I'm Selena. Naomi's just like,
Selena, we came to ask you, we were concerned about that pest infestation that we
So,
talked about. That it might be worse here at
okay,
the shop.
let's pull this back a bit, dear sweet Tilda, because fucking Savoy comes in with a fucking shotgun.
True. Very true.
They're very big pests, so we brought a shotgun.
Naomi's just there like,
Savoy just like slowly puts the shotgun down.
I feel like Mira is so out of place with Savoy just like touting around a shotgun, and then Tilda in her nice little sweater and her tiny pencil bun. And Mira's just like, wow, this is not the event gala that I was looking for.
so Naomi's like,
Hi,
What
Selena.
kind of
Hi,
pest?
Naomi. I apologize for the interruption. Selena, Faith couldn't get a hold of you, and we honestly thought worst case scenario.
Oh yes, my phone is dead. I had it plugged in the back room. I'm sorry about that.
And you just see like Savoy closes their eyes and takes a breath, and I'm glad to see that you're okay. Naomi.
Jonas just kind of walks into the back room to look at Selena's phone.
It's like Faith kind of follows behind Jonas. It's like, it's technically employees only, but it's just me and mom, and this is actually our house as well. So like,
Well, do
I
you
mean,
want to
it's-
see if that phone's gonna eat your other ear off by yourself, or do you want me to come with you?
listen, that's why I'm saying let me walk back here with you.
Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to get short with you. I'm just...
No, that's okay. I probably deserve it.
Jonas doesn't
Listen.
say anything.
He's like, listen, I can dish it out. I can take it. So it's not like I wasn't the only. It's not like you were the only one who was panicking. God damn.
Well, let's just, go check around and make sure things are okay.
So, I mean, so he looks. The phone is plugged in to the wall, just like she said, with missed calls. Few missed calls from Faith.
Go on.
Okay. So, but meanwhile, Naomi's just like, what kind of pest did you say these were?
There
Um,
seems to be
rodents of unusual size.
yes, there seems to be an exorbitant amount of rodents that are a little bigger than average. They've been harassing some of my citizens here. That's why. That was the perfect timing. I just look up and see you wrestling this giant furry noodle.
I'm sorry.
While everybody is talking, Mira just starts to do like a round of the store very slowly, and she's like trailing her hands over things.
So, Mira, I would like you to investigate a mystery.
You want to?
What stat is that?
That is, I forget, guys. What stat is that? I am so
It's
good at this
sharp.
game.
Sharp.
Sharp. Thank you. Let me pull up.
Great. And because Mira's stupid, she's got a negative stat. That's a 6.
Awesome.
You can always ask Tilda for advice before investigating a mystery.
She's not asking Tilda shit right now.
Well, at least I get to mark
unless you are.
good.
Well, you also can get a D6, I believe, or a D4.
Yeah. There's 2 D4 and 1 D6 available.
I'll take a D6.
Okay, go for it.
That's a 2, so it's an 8.
Better than a fail.
Yeah, okay, mixed success. That means you get to hold 1. Which means
what is being concealed?
What is being concealed here? So you're trailing your hand around these shelves. You are seeing, like, these are all pretty interesting things that Selena has here. Quite an interesting collection of things. You've got like a Buddha statue. You've got like a lotus, a crystal, one of those like crystal lotuses that have the nice like rainbow coating on it. She has like a collection of candles and incense and stones. You've got amethyst like geodes and sure enough, like even like little like hand carved boxes and all the kind of things you'd see in like a Wiccan gift store. But you start noticing that there is double of just about everything in the store. And I don't mean like double stock. I mean like legitimately you start seeing that they are exactly the same. There is no, like, there are no differences, not even down to the woodwork or something that is obviously hand carved or a stone. The marks on a stone will be the exact same. It's a bit overwhelming.
Can she use her magic to kind of send out like a feeler to see if she can feel the difference in these items? So do the doubles give off like any sort of magical signature, any tell that they are actually what they appear to be, or if they're the mimics like she's thinking, without touching them and disturbing them, because she doesn't, once she realizes that there's double, she kind of takes her hands off, 'cause she doesn't want to disturb them and make them come back to life.
Yes. Okay. So, go ahead and roll magic. So that's plus weird.
So that's a 12.
A 12. Damn. Okay. I am going to, because, there's a lot of people in the store and things going on, I am actually going to roll against you. I'm using those D6s, my fools. That's a 1. You still succeed. So, I imagine it like you're using almost like a magic dust.
Oh my god, Rowan, that is exactly what I was picturing in my mind. Almost like a dust settling on like all items.
Magical. That coats magical things. Yes.
Oh my god, that's exactly what I was thinking.
You so you send out your dust, this glamour, and you watch as pretty much half of the whole store begins lighting up, and in the back of the room there's something monstrously huge, just sitting there, disguised against the wall.
So what Mira does is she goes to Naomi and she looks her very carefully in the eyes and she smiles. And
so has Naomi talked to Mira in the past?
No. So she goes to Naomi and she smiles, and it seems genuine, like it seems like a friendly smile. And she looks Naomi right in the eyes and she says, "Hi, I don't think we've met before. My name is Mirabelle, but I've heard a lot about you from my friends, and they seem to think you're pretty cool." So she's trying to lay the stick.
Roll to manipulate someone.
Which stat is that?
That is a plus charm.
Okay. Oh, fuck. That's a 5.
What did you get?
What? It's a 5.
A 5?
So Mira.
What's your charm?
2.
To add to it.
Oh no, I rolled a 3.
Oh.
Mira's really agitated right now, so she's not great.
We do have 2d4 if you need it.
Yeah, you know what? I don't want to fuck up that badly, so I will use a d4 if that's okay with you guys. I don't want to use up all the dice.
Oh no, go for it. That's what they're there for.
Okay. I rolled a 4, so that's a 9.
That makes success. They do it, but only if you do something for them right now to show that you mean it. So go on. Let's roleplay this out. So you say this, and Naomi's like, "Really cool. That's really sweet of you. I was fairly certain that this group hated me, and would rather be rid of me. So I don't know."
Mira laughs, and it's just like a very tinkly kind of happy sounds, very tinkly. And she says, no, of course. You know what? It's a pretty ragtag group, and we all give off, I'd say, certain vibes that might come off a little abrasive. But you know what? No, I've heard good things about you.
Well, thank you, I suppose. What do you need?
And Mira locks eyes with Naomi, and she really, really tries to put some weight behind her words. And she says, "Now, Naomi, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave the store, and I don't need you to ask any questions. I just need you to trust me on this one."
What? Hold on. What is going on? Obviously something's going on. Okay. It's obvious that the lot of you and I'm saying this in all due diligence and as professionally as possible. It's clear that the lot of you like know something is going on and have been hiding things from me for this whole time. I will leave and let you deal with whatever it is or discuss it, only if you tell me what's going on.
Mira sighs as if she's disappointed. Like this is like
you're muted.
this is like mom level disappointment sigh from Mira. And she's just like, now, see, I don't think we can do that right at this moment. But
Okay, that's fine. Look, you can deal with whatever it is as long as you get back to me or give me something, please.
Savoy clears their voice and just like kind of looks back at Mira and looks at Naomi and says,
It's a shotgun.
I will talk to you at the end of this week.
Oh my god. No, I'm tired of being pushed off like this. Look, talk to me tonight. We can meet at the diner. All of you, please. I
Fine.
need something.
Go.
Fine. All right.
I will see you at the diner tonight.
All of you.
I will see what I can do about getting all of us into the diner tonight.
Mira's still trying to hold on to Naomi's gaze. Like she's got this really intense look.
So Savoy's gonna.
Naomi's a little flustered, admittedly.
Can Savoy lay a little bit of charm onto them?
That shotgun turns.
Savoy's
Like
gonna reach out and give Naomi's shoulder a little bit of a squeeze and very gently say, Naomi, the only thing that I have is my word, and I give you my word that I will see you tonight at the diner. I cannot make promises for other people, but I will most certainly be there, and I will tell you what I am able to tell you. I have a natural appeal, which means that I roll weird instead of charm to manipulate somebody and getting the fuck out of here.
Well, no.
I would like to help.
She's definitely leaving. She just needed that confirmation. Yes.
Well, that's Savoy's confirmation. Do you want me to roll for it?
No, you're totally fine. She's like, okay. And with that, she does leave. She knows something's up, but she will take you guys at your word.
Okay.
So once Naomi leaves, Mira waits until the door closes behind her. And she motions, without looking at Selena, she motions for Selena to come out from behind the counter, but she like motions slowly. So she wants Selena to come out slowly. And with a very low level voice, she calls out Jonas and Faith's names to ask them to come out.
Selena's like, okay. And so she doesn't argue. She steps out from behind the counter. Like, she's talked to this group, most of them at this point. I mean, I don't think she knows Jonas. She's seen him in passing. In fact, she's seen him in the diner quite a few times. She doesn't know Mira, but she's with Savoy. So she's like, I got this. I understand what's happening. And so, yeah, she steps towards Mira.
Jonas will come out to the front, but he's not going to make a big ruckus. He's going to come out as quietly but quickly as possible.
Faith saunters after him, just hands in his hoodie pocket.
Savoy brings the butt of the shotgun up to their shoulder, but doesn't say anything and looks at Mira.
Mira puts out a hand to motion for Savoy to not do that.
And slowly puts the gun back down.
Yeah. Mira.
Yeah.
What was your roll on that magic again? Was it only
11. 11, because I had a 12 and you rolled a 1, yeah?
Yes. So 11. So was it just kind of like say if something moved, would you be able to see it? Or was it just kind of like momentary, like let's feel this out almost.
No, I feel like that dust kind of settles on the objects, like almost like I know this is a really weird analogy kind of thing, but you know, in ghost hunting shows where they have the laser
Mhm.
grids,
Right.
and then supposedly, like when you see something move, it shifts the light in the laser grid, and you can see the form. That I picture that as how this kind of physical dust lays on everything. So if there is movement, it kind of disrupts that grid. So she would be able to tell.
Okay. So all right. So the big thing starts moving against the wall towards the door.
The back door?
Yes, whatever door, just kind of following after Naomi.
Oh, so the front door.
Yes.
Not the door that Jonas and Faith just came out.
And it's safe to assume that none of us else can see it. It's just Mira that can see it.
It's just Mira.
Can she probe any sort of way into the shadow? Like, can she feel a distinct form, or is it just a mass?
For now, like, okay, you start getting kind of an idea, simply because it has been moving. You know, this thing is big. The fact that it's been hiding in this store and nobody's noticed, you have no idea how. Like, it's clearly trying to be stealthy.
Right. Is it any sort of like
We should place the turret on the other side.
intelligent creature? Can she tell if it's
You only want to know, your spell was to know what they specifically like looked like and where they were, that you didn't do anything about their intelligence. Do you have like a different ability you want to use,
see, I have
like monster empathy?
I do have monster empathy. So that was kind of I'm trying to probe to see if that's something that I would be able to use.
Yes,
Okay.
but that's
I'll
a
do that.
separate thing.
Yeah. Can I roll for that?
Yes.
Okie dokie.
Also, what the heck are you doing, Yasmin? You just drawing lines on yourself?
I have bad ADHD. And the
Hey,
answer
listen,
is yes.
it looks super good.
That's how I cope.
It looks
So,
super
yeah,
good, but I'm just like, wait a second. All right, Mira.
She doesn't figure out jack shit. I rolled a 3 and then my charm is 2, so that's 5.
Okay, so you have no idea.
So is it going to leave? It's following Naomi out the door?
Yes.
She doesn't stop it. At this point, they're not prepared to deal with anything in a small enclosed space, so she does not stop it.
So the rest of you, as you are kind of crowding close, you hear the door open and close without explanation. So it's like, well, that was funny.
The boy's going around. I would also like to roll to investigate the situation.
Investigate
So that
mystery? Yes, please.
And I rolled an 8.
All right, make success. So hold one. What is being concealed here? That one was kind of already asked. Okay. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? What is
Where
being
did it
concealed here?
Go.
So you want to know specifically about the one that left then?
Yes, because deductive reasoning would mean that whatever we are standing there and waiting for has likely just left the room.
Because Mira has all these kind of pinpoints in her field of, I guess, quote unquote vision.
Yes.
How many of these mimics are there? Like
hundreds.
I looked back, there's not.
Okay.
I have the last 2 or something.
Continue.
I will give you this one for free, is that most of them are very small. There are some that are middle-sized, medium-sized. And only the one was gigantic.
So, and then for Savoy wants to know where it's going.
All right. So
Especially like if there's a way that it can be tracked.
Okay. Where did it go? So you go to the door or to the window and peek out to see like what the hell is going on, because the door just opened and closed by itself. That's unusual, right? And you see Naomi just kind of walking along with her hands in her pockets, just kind of like running a hand through her hair. She's frustrated. Like you can tell that this whole situation is so frustrating for her, and that she's really taking one for the team, so to speak, just letting you guys do your thing. And she's just wondering if she made the right choice. You see a faint shimmer of something just kind of follow after her, just like the world itself shifts a little.
Am I able to get a feeling off of it? I do not have monster empathy, but can I get like an idea of its intentions as it's following after her? I don't know if that's part of the role at all. Okay.
No. You only held one, friend.
I know, I was trying though.
Yes, unless someone wants to help out. No, you got an 8. I don't think help out would work.
Tilda is gonna be right back.
It's gotta use the little horse's room.
Savoy's gonna turn around to the others and say whatever was in here has left and followed Naomi. Naomi could be in serious danger. I may not necessarily like Naomi, but the last thing that I need is more feds in my city, in my town.
And with that, Jonas has gone out the door.
Jonas actually gonna murder you. So Mira,
Savoy's gonna look to Mira real quick and be like, Mira, what is it that you're seeing?
Mira gives this little like chortle and under her breath just kind of says like, son of a bitch, like this boy can't stay still for 5 fucking seconds.
I just imagine him Naruto running out the door, like.
Oh my god, Naruto running, that's great.
Like raid area
Tilda
51
actually would like to do
Naruto
something
running
here.
guy. Like, there he goes. Yes, okay, Tilda.
Sorry I had to run, but I did have my headphones on, so I was hearing what's going on. Does Tilda kind of know what's going on as far as something is following Naomi?
Did anyone
Savoy
tell?
said something, but
yeah, Savoy did say like.
Tilda's been standing around everyone, so she would have overheard any conversation.
Yeah, Savoy did say like, "Hey, whatever it was, just left and it's following Naomi, and she may be in danger." That is literally word for word. It's just the
word for wood. New saying right there. I love it.
Selena and Faith kind of exchanged a look, and Selena's like, "Hold on, so I'm not quite caught up here. What just happened?"
So, is this happening before I do a thing, or?
Sure, I guess. What are you doing?
Okay. So now that I'm on the same page with everybody, Tilda's going to try and cast a protection spell to hide Naomi from whatever this is.
Okay, roll weird.
Is it only physical contact that jolts these things? Like, sleep?
That is what you know so far.
I'm going to use a D4.
Okay.
Which will make it a mixed success.
Okay, what? Okay. 8 mixed success, so there is a glitch. So let's pick a glitch, shall we? Effect is weakened. The effect is of short duration. You take 1 harm, ignore armor. I don't think that applies. Magic draws immediate and welcome attention. It has problematic side effects.
I'm trying to remember. That's the DM decides or the player?
I don't. Okay, yes. Keeper will decide. Okay.
Okay.
So. Yes, Naomi does disappear. Like you can see her just kind of fade from view. However, the store comes alive. These things
You
fucking
idiots,
panic.
if you would just listen for 5 fucking seconds.
Small guys coming. Small guys.
The store comes alive. They are everywhere. It's like watching like a spider nest, like those daddy long legs nests, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where you touch it
You
and
know
then
that
Yeah.
anime thing where their outline just goes like wiggly for a minute?
What's that?
That's
Yeah.
the point.
like, oh god.
So I take it you took the it draws unwanted attention.
More like it has a problematic side effect where you bothered all of them, or at least the small ones.
All right, well,
Okay.
Mira.
Well, they aren't going. Okay, I'll give you this. They aren't moving towards you. They are fleeing the fuck, like heading for somewhere else to hide.
Okay. That's good.
And Faith is just like both. Selena's like, oh, that's why we had double of everything. I didn't think we had that much stock. And Faith is just like, holy shit.
So I didn't describe what Tilda's doing.
Yes, please.
So knowing that something's going after Naomi, she just grabs, let's say, like this string of beads. It's like a bracelet, but different multicolored beads out of her bag, and starts like chanting something in, let's say, French, and moving like one bead at a time as she finishes a phrase.
Oui, oui, mon ami.
And then basically that's her casting the spell. And then glances around and is like, oh shit, but keeps going as the things are fleeing.
So what do you want? What are you wanting exactly to happen with Naomi?
It's just a cloaking spell. So
okay.
Something that's seeking her or tracking her cannot find her unless they've got more powerful magic or something like that.
Tilda, Jonas was going to save her. Jonas will not be able to find her.
Well, it should just be protection from anything that's tracking her. So I would imagine we'd all still be able to see her.
To be fair,
at this point, I feel like Mira follows suit on that like anime crazy wiggle line, gross feeling. I have a feeling that I don't know, maybe that she can physically feel the movement in her magic, and that grosses her out. She like immediately drops it, and she like gasps a little.
Yeah. Because you have this magic up, I will also give you this. Is that it's only the small ones that have now moved and vacated. The big ones are staying put. That's what you see as you drop your magic.
Sorry, say that again. My mom was talking to me.
So it's only the small ones that are moving and fleeing or have been bothered by this sudden wave of magic. The big ones aren't moving, or the medium-sized ones, I should say. So like the ones that are like pots and the geodes and things like that.
Yeah.
They were fine.
Okay, so Mira does tell them at this point, like, she especially glares at Tilda, who's doing her little chant, and she's kind of agitated, and she says, there are so many mimics in this one spot, and whatever you've done, you've agitated the small ones, but there are larger ones still here. So everybody needs to calm the fuck down and don't make any, big, just don't go knocking all this shit over. Just do me that favor, okay?
Selena's like, it's my store. I wasn't planning on it anyways.
So
Tilda just retorts and goes, well, I just kept Naomi from getting eaten and took care of all the small ones. You're welcome.
And Mira like snarls at
Always
her and
gonna
she's like,
clear
would you
her
like a
voice and be
fucking
like-
pat on the back?
No,
Damn.
maybe just, don't attack me for doing a good job.
And anyway, she leaves the store to go after Jonas.
Savoy's gonna clear their voice and be like, Selena, I need you to close up
We have
shop.
the big guys on the bridge.
I need you and Faith to leave your shop. And
Yeah.
until we can get this pest problem taken care of, I don't think it's wise for you to return.
Just book it towards the end.
Okay. That's fair.
Just last.
Selena's like, all right. I can. Do you want me to stay in town, like go to the motel, or
You know what? You
leave
can
town?
come to my place.
Oh, I mean, and Faith is like, fuck.
It's okay. Savoy's not quite yet regretting their decision.
The seafoam
So,
there's
Faith is like,
third like side door next to the big main.
thank you, Auntie Savoy.
Unless that was open.
There's got to be a better word for this.
Auntie, Unky, Uncle, Auntie. There is no genderless
You know what? I can be your god fairy. How about that?
god fairy.
If you're able to get to the end.
You can call me a god. I don't mind.
Call me God. I'm God now.
But I do need you to
Gosh.
get the fuck out of your store and quietly.
That sounds some sort of kinky.
Yep. Yep. So interesting. Okay. So yeah, no, they head out. Like they decided it's probably not best to pack anything even because who knows how much of that is mimics.
Right. Just leave. Just go out, go sit in the car and wait for me.
Got it.
Tilda, you're probably going to want to go and help Mira and Jonas.
No, thank you.
What were Mira and Jonas doing? What was Mira and Jonas doing again?
Mira
Making sure Naomi's
left-
okay, even though they can't fucking see Naomi.
Gotcha.
How far
Anyone
would
who's
you
actively
stop?
tracking. How far did you ask?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, can you repeat the whole question?
Sure.
Oh.
I can go help them.
No, I just asked how far Jonas would have gotten to this
Okay.
point. Like, you're caught up with him yet?
Probably because when Naomi disappears from his line of sight, he's like gonna kind of stop in his tracks a little bit and start trying to call out.
Well, first of all, you're making her run in these really big heels, so that's not very polite. She catches up to Jonas and she like grabs onto his shirt sleeve, and she like kind of tugs him to face her. Can she like give him a once over to kind of feel his mood? Like what can she get from him?
Jonas is a pretty open book, so you can tell that Jonas is a little bit panicked and a little bit scared, not for himself, but for Naomi.
I think probably wouldn't take Tilda very long to catch up with them. So Tilda would immediately go, she's fine. I just cloaked her.
Mira
As soon as she's safe, I'll drop the spell.
Mira's still kind of looking Jonas over. And the fact that he has done so much jumping into action without really thinking kind of bothers her in a way that she doesn't quite understand. It's just super out of character. that he would do it so panicked. So she's looking at him and she just looks really confused, like she's trying to figure out a puzzle that she can't quite get. And she doesn't really say anything, but she's very intent. She's trying to read his face.
It takes Jonas a second to even recognize that Mira's there and has turned him around and that Tilda's there too. Like, it takes him a second before he kind of just a little bit comes back to the present moment and said, wait, what did you say, Tilda?
I cast a cloaking spell on Naomi so that whatever was following her would not be able to do so. Like I can drop it whenever we need it.
Do you know where she is, though?
Out of the way. I assumed this would be cast in such a way that I would know where Naomi is. Is that acceptable? GM?
Yeah. You got a mixed success, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, here's what I'd say is that you're not positive, but you know where she's going to be. You know that she's going to be at the diner later.
Okay. Would I be able to tell where my magic is?
Yes, I think you have kind of a general idea of what direction she heads.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
just kind of a general feel, but it's not like you're like a master mage or anything. So it works.
No.
It's not like you're Mira with her glamour, whatever either.
Her sparkly dust.
Sparkly shit. But yeah, you have a general feel like, okay, she just was walking off this way. And you know she's going to be in the diner later.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, she went that direction. I've got a general sense of which direction my magic is going. And I mean, we know she's going to be at the diner. Either way, I can drop it whenever we need it dropped, but I just want to make sure that whatever was following her couldn't track her.
Mira's cheek kind of twitches a little bit. And she's like, yeah, set off a bunch of mimics in Selena's store too. But
Yes, the small ones have fled. You're welcome.
yeah, and now they're
Guys.
somewhere where we can't find them. Great. And she shakes her head a little bit as if she's like, come on, Mira, fucking focus here, right? Like, there's no need. Just focus on what you're doing. She still has not dropped her hand from Jonas's shirt. Like, she's holding on to his shirt sleeve.
Well, look, I did a thing in a critical moment to protect someone. I'm sorry if it made a bunch of the little mimics run somewhere that you didn't want them to go. But Naomi's safe for now.
Jonas, like, absent-mindedly kind of puts his hand on Mira's hand that's, like, holding his sleeve and just, like, holds it there, just kind of rests it there. He's, like, not even aware that he's doing it. And he's just still has a very far-off look in his eyes.
I would like to mention 2 things.
Mm-hmm.
One, Savoy did not leave the shop.
Yes. What is Savoy doing?
Savoy has a
Two,
shotgun.
Savoy failed a cool check.
Oh, no.
Oh no! Oh no!
All you hear from the shop, since everybody followed Savoy's commands and left, which is what Savoy wanted you all to do, you just hear this terrifying, maniacal laughter from behind closed doors. And Savoy backed themselves up, knowing that the change was going to happen, and put Zahil between the exit and the rest of the mimics.
So Zahil, I'd like you to roll Investigate a Mystery. Can you do that for me?
Yes. Seven.
Mixed success. All right. I'm going to give you something, Zahil. So definitely the mimics are aware of you. You with your fairy eyes, like you can probably see as they kind of shift a little nervously and start to try to move around. And then you realize that there is something very shiny in the center of the room, with a whole bunch of necklaces and stuff. There was a whole bunch of like mimics there who are now kind of backing away to kind of figure out the whole situation here. But you realize they were hiding something from your view.
Zahil loves fucking shiny things. So, immediately drawn
Quick
to
interruption.
Yes?
We had 2 plot points redeemed. So, Jonas, you can swear that you see your old army mates, ones that have died, standing at the end of an alleyway. They stare at you, through you, as if bitter that you survived where they didn't.
Oh my
Are
god.
we really gonna fuck Jonas up this bad? I hate everybody.
Oh, Jonas!
Well,
Jonas, we all love you.
okay, let's quickly resolve that before we get to Zahil looking at the shiny thing. Jonas, you see something very spooky. How's it going? How's it going, Jonas? Jonas, how's it going?
Jonas is still the same, only he does squeeze Mira's hand a little bit tighter.
All right.
Is he looking somewhere specific? Like, if he's focused, can Mira kind of track where he's got his eyes? Or is Jonas just kind of like spooking off into nowhere land?
Spooking off into deep space.
Yeah.
It's only
I would assume in the direction of wherever that plot point was.
Mm-hmm.
Following his gaze, she can't see anything. So she kind of looks between him and where he's looking. And she turns her hand a little bit to hold on to his rather than his shirt.
Yep, there's nothing there. Now back to Zahil. Zahil.
Yeah.
So you see this shiny thing. You see this shiny thing, and you see that there's kind of a mimic that's kind of on top, and it was forming a box lid. You realize it was pretending and masquerading as a box lid.
Savoy grabs the side of the display and like bears rows of shark teeth at it and emits a growl that is less sound and more vibration, intimidating it.
Can you roll to manipulate someone? But this time it's for a monster.
Weird for manipulating someone.
Yes.
And I rolled an 8.
Oh.
Plus,
all right. So you let's see, for monsters, what does that mean? Because it's a monster that's the rules are a little different. The rules are a little tiny different because, it's a monster. Manipulate monsters. Does not normally work on monsters if you can reason and talk. You can try and make a deal with one if you really want, but you don't get to roll to ensure it keeps its side of the bargain. You just have to hope it's an honorable feat. Good luck with that. So, okay, this is what I'll say it does. Is that I'm going to go with you have to prove that you mean it. Like you're actually going to thread it. So it's kind of like rearing up its like little legs.
So Savoy's going to take a big swipe at it. And I get to roll
kick some ass
instead of toughness for kicking ass.
Yes.
So that's a 9, and then all of my attacks are a +1 harm.
Okay.
So that's
9.
3 harm.
Okay. Whew. So the thing hits the wall and it shrieks and kind of shrivels up in itself.
Savoy
as it-
shrieks at it and all of the others in the room and grabs the shiny object.
But it kind of does the shudder and then does the thing where spiders curl up on themselves dead. So you grab the shiny thing and you hold it up, and it's a heart-shaped locket.
Okay.
In fact, it looks quite a lot like the one that is in the Tickfaw files room here.
All right.
So it's a heart-shaped locket with a red jewel in the center. And it's glowing. You feel magic coursing from this thing.
Savoy's gonna put it on, almost like a bird fluffing its feathers, like tries to clasp it around its neck. Sort of fails because its claws are not very delicate. And instead just like drapes it across itself and stretches out across the display to show how beautiful he is.
So you hear Zahil, you hear clapping. You look lovely, my dear.
Zahil like sits up immediately and is like on guard all of a sudden, like muscles ready and tense, feathers popping.
So you see a man there who wasn't there before, or at least you couldn't see him, with the purple hair, long purple hair, and wearing like a beautiful gaudy like robe. It's the prince. And he
Zahil's
says,
lips roll across his teeth in a snarl. Their teeth, his teeth.
"Oh no,
Masculine right now.
there's no worries. You look marvelous, even."
Zahil bats their lashes and says, "What the fuck do you want?" And giggles.
Oh, not much. But if you like that, I can offer you more where that came from. And with that, we're gonna end tonight.
Fuck.
Dang it!
Fantastic.
Dang it!
Well, that was a great session. We are going to do some wrap up here before we go on a raid. So we're going to give everybody a chance to say what their favorite part was, where we can find them next, and anything else that anybody would like to share. We're going to go reverse order here. So let's start with Riley. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you next? And anything else that you'd like to share?
Hi, I'm Riley. You can find me next this Saturday for Legends of the Badlands here at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Oh my gosh, this was quite the session. I'm sorry, I'm just arguing with Alex. Honestly, I really loved the phone call with Savoy, and I really loved the last part with Mira showing some concern for Jonas. And also, congratulations, Rowan, for finally having a character come in that broke Jonas.
Yes. Faith made Jonas mad.
Faith did make Jonas mad. That was an interesting emotion to have for Jonas. He doesn't get mad that often. And then, yeah, sorry. It was just all really, really good. I just loved all of it. Yes, that is all. I think that is all.
Fantastic. Next we have Yasmin. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you next? And anything else you'd like to share?
What wasn't my favorite part? I think my most favorite part was definitely the strange, weird little Mira things that Mira does when she's uncomfortable. It's just like it's the best for me to just be like, oh, Mira. And you can find me next here on Tickfaw File. I'm gonna try and do some streaming on my Twitch account, Bodelia, but no guarantees because I'm lame. Otherwise, you find me online on Twitter and on my website, which was missmys-tart.shop and stuff. That's it.
Next, we've got Vanessa. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you next? And anything else that you'd like to share?
My favorite parts are anytime I get to push my my Miras ship. So that's anytime that I have the opportunity to push my agenda, I will certainly push my own agenda, which is why I should stay far away from politics. No, but I really did enjoy, interestingly enough, seeing Jonas get angry. Because that's my sweet boy, and I don't want him to be mad, so that was kind of weird. And also my girlfriend comment, because my Miras agenda is strong tonight. So
strong.
It's beaten strong, you guys. Yeah. So that was probably my favorite part. As for me, you can find me here next week for more Tickfaw. You can also find me over my art Twitter, which is Peppero Draws. It's Peppero like the candy. And yesterday I did revamp my coffee page. So if you go to coffee/Peppero Princess, you can find me there. And I'm going to be uploading my Tickfaw sketches there as well. They're also on my art Twitter. So if you want to get maybe some cool art of your characters, you can find me there and I'll sketch you some stuff. It'll be real fun.
Awesome. Feel free to throw those links into chat as well.
Yeah, for sure.
And then Rowan, what was your favorite part? Where can we find you next? And anything else you'd like to share?
Hi, I'm Rowan. I'm a freelance illustrator and art educator. You can find all my stuff on rowannorthillustrations.org. I think my favorite part was Faith sassing everyone and just people not deciding if they like Faith or they just outright hate him or trying to fuck with him. My favorite is also, I think, was just the big reveal of the shop. Just the fact that it was a whole mimic nest. So that was a quite thing. That was fun. Yep.
Awesome. And we can find you next Saturday on Legends of the Badlands, right?
Yes. Shut up.
What was that?
It was like, yes. Hey, don't mess with me.
Oh goodness. So that just leaves me. My favorite part, I really enjoyed the text conversations between Tilda and Savoy that were happening in the background while other stuff was going on. Yeah, it was very cute and it was fun to play out. I also enjoyed Tilda getting to use some magic, so getting to practice stuff that she's known extremely well for a long time, but just never realized was real. So getting to now exercise some of that in a practical way instead of a theoretical way was really cool, even if it did scare off the little mimics that we were hoping to keep track of. But and yeah, the whole Tupperware ship was, of course, strong. As for where you can find me next, I will probably be playing in a game on Friday. We will have a game here on Friday regardless, but depends on how many people sign up if I play in it or not, or if I just am here hosting. Otherwise, I'll be DMing Legends of the Badlands on Saturday. If you would like to get in on a game, we do have applications open until April 15th. So just a couple more weeks left for our next season, which starts in May and goes to August. There are Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday day slot games open. So those day slots are at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Eastern. Feel free to check that out. Also, we have Friday community one-shots every Friday night. All you have to do to sign up for those is just send me a DM on Twitter, and I will get you into the next available spot, which we do have up to 2 spots available for this coming Friday for a D6-based game DM'd by Michael Wayne. So it's going to be a lot of fun. If you'd like to jump in on that, just shoot me a DM and I will get you in the game. Yeah, I think that was about it. So we're going to go on a raid. We've got our raid cry, which is Faith, shut up. And we're going to go raid a super awesome person named Kent Weeps, who's actually streaming right now. So that is fantastic. If you're not already following Kent, definitely give him a follow. Just a super amazing, positive, awesome person. So yeah, and with that, I will see you all on Friday. Bye.